strands of democracy we've managed to claw from the British today. I wanted to, before I begin, I wanted to note one short instance of irony, which is that the AUKU bill, the amendment to AUKU, is being debated in Parliament right now as we speak. Right now, a bunch of... It's passed. The government has decided that it's okay for political parties to come onto campus, but it has not decided that it's okay for the independent groups like us to do stuff. That is the amendment that has gone through. So just a note for that. I wanted to state two tropes that I think are central to the thread of the question here. The first is that Ahmad Boestamam and his comrades attempted to come up with an inclusive notion of what it meant to be Malay. The second is that Ahmad Boestamam, as we have heard several times this evening, said Merdeka dengan darah. Blood and fire was the theme of their revolution. They did not believe that capitalism could be defeated peacefully. Now, I mention these things because one thing that's become clear in New Malaysia is that the problems that are beset upon Malaysia by capitalism and racism are not as easy to fix as many people would once have thought. A good portion of this country was duped into thinking that simply by voting in the Pakatan government that their problems would go away. And clearly it has not. We have watched our NGO friends fold into consultation with the government with the best of intentions on the Sedition Act, on reforms to democracy, on economic reforms. I've been involved in several of these things. I'm involved with the GPA crew, Gabungan Pembebasan Academic members. Raise your hands. Yep, students have been working on academic freedom, fee hikes. Our comrades at PSM have been working with us on the minimum wage campaign and several other things. But getting trapped in that consultation without having a strategy on the ground is a recipe for disaster. And we've watched that. It's been how long? 9 months. 9 months since we've gone in. The Sedition Act isn't even gone yet. The second thing I'd like to point out on the question of race is that there isn't a single country on this planet today that has completely fixed the race problem. It is testament to how difficult it really is to deal with the question of race. We've been researching for a documentary that we're producing of Burhanuddin Al-Helmi, which you should follow our Facebook page for updates, right? And I've been watching the different members of PKMM, API, Awas, and later Burhanuddin, as he joined PAS and attempted to convince PAS of this ideology, figure out how to convince people that the term Malay could mean all of us. Because that's what Ahmad Boestamam and Burhanuddin Al-Helmi took the term Malay to mean. Before the British came here, the term Malay didn't have racial connotations. It was simply what we might call a nationality, but that isn't true anymore. And UMNO has, through rhetoric, money, and violence, promoted the notion that Malayness is a race, and that we, people like me, people like Vic, are pendatang, and they will never truly be people here. And we don't have the solution to this question on paper, right? What we do know is that the way we will get to the solution is through action, through good theory, right? We have to fight the struggles of the oppressed people. We need to show people that the interests of all working class people, of all the oppressed, are closer to each other than the interests of our rulers. I don't give a shit what Robert Kwok or Jeffrey Chia or whoever else is doing, and I think Vic will say the same about Arukanda, and I think our Malay comrades here will say the same about all those BM politicians. So we must make that absolutely clear as we go forward. We need that solid politics. They were grappling with it 60 years ago, and we are still living with the consequences of what the British have imposed on us 200 years on from their occupation. So I implore everyone here, if you're not involved already, speak to a Malaysia Muda member. Malaysia Muda members, raise your hands. All right, get involved, join us. We are working on lots of different campaigns. We're probably going to kick off a PDPTN campaign next week, if all goes well. Among lots of other things. Speak to us, get involved, follow our Facebook page, and we will see you on the streets. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming. We will not stop until we get our democracy back, whatever we decide that means. Please have some food. Please say hi to each other. Please make some networks, and have an excellent evening. Thank you.